Good morning and welcome to our Level Up Literacy Tutor Information Session. We are so excited that you are joining us today. We are going to drop in the chat a couple of links, one being the attendance link, one being the presentation link, and one being the parking lot. So on behalf of WCPSS, my name is Dr. Shanika Moore-Lawrence, and I'm the Senior Director of K-12 Academic Enhancement, which includes Advanced Learning Services, Title I, AIG, Indian Education, and also Wake Up and Read and Level Up Literacy. And I have with me today my colleague, Becky Foote, who is a Senior Administrator in K-12 Academic Enhancement, also working directly with Title I in the area of enrichment and community engagement. We'll now turn it over to Read and Feed and also Wake Ed, two of our partners associated with Level Up Literacy, to introduce themselves. Read and Feed.
And yes, I'm Sherry Overton Shudra, and I'm the Executive Director over at Read and Feed. And we are so thrilled to be working on this initiative together with our partners over at Wake County Public School System and our friends over at Wake Ed Partnership. I have with me Mandy Baggett, who is my Chief of Staff. She's also my Curriculum and Tutor Training Specialist. And Mandy's going to be sharing with you today all about our program and also how that works so well with and is aligned with the science of reading and the 5 components of literacy. Also, our team member, Sarah Emery, who is one of our newest program managers, who's going to be helping us with this in-school literacy support program. Keith, over to you.
Right. Thanks, Sherry. Hi, I'm Keith Poston, the president of Wake Ed Partnership. Also with me is Dr. Douglas Price. He's our director of programs here at Wake Ed. Like Sherry, we're excited to work on this program. We've enjoyed working with Wake County Public Schools over the last couple of years on literacy interventions, and excited about this new iteration, Level Up Literacy, which and our friends and new partner with Read and Feed. Looking forward to talking with all of you and seeing you in the information sessions and trainings going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much to, again, Read and Feed and Wake Ed Partnership. So today we do have a Q&A parking lot. So please use the link that was dropped in the chat. And also you can click on the icon that's presented there that says QA. And you will be able to drop any questions for us to answer throughout this presentation. But we will also allow for an opportunity for you to ask questions aloud at the end. So we have several desired outcomes. We want you to understand the purpose of Level Up Literacy. We want you to gain clarity about the focus of Level Up Literacy, including the delivery method and more. We want you to learn what a typical Level Up Literacy session looks like, and also review next steps for how to sign up for your volunteer shifts. So on behalf of WCPSS, we want to thank you for your service as volunteers. We know that you exude a lot of patience, a lot of support, and a lot of grace. And we thank you so much for wanting to be a part of Level Up Literacy. Some of you have been in other volunteer spaces throughout Wake County Public School System. You may have been at HELPS Tutor. You may volunteer at your child's school, but whatever place and space you're volunteering, we just want to say thank you so much. Some of you who were involved with HELPS in WCPSS, you know that those HELPS materials and resources are not being utilized in WCPSS anymore, and that if there were any resources that were there and materials, that we have discarded those and that we are now on a new path and new journey. So we have a new year, 2025. We have some new work that we're going to be doing. And we're excited that you want to be a part of that new work as we try some new things. And while our previous literacy intervention focused solely on fluency, our new work focuses on all 5 pillars and components and is very significantly aligned with the science of reading. And you'll learn more about that today. And quick disclaimer, this is not our official logo or image. It's coming soon, but Google was my friend. And so Level Up Literacy is where we are. So here we are with that introduction. And we want you to know that right now our schools are preparing for you to start, for you to say yes and commit. They are busily doing their M-Class MOI window with their students. And after that data is collected, they will be identifying those students that you will be able to help change literacy outcomes for. At WCPSS, we are coordinating this initiative with our partners at Read and Feed and Wake Ed Partnership, and is so excited to do so, and the school's Level Up Literacy Contact. We're also partnering with Read and Feed and Wake Ed Partnership and the Literacy Level Up Contact to make sure that our tutors are trained and supported. There are various roles that the literacy point of contact has. We won't go over all of those, but know that they're going to take care of you while you're at your various schools. Make sure you have a space, make sure you have support, make sure you have a point of contact, make sure that you're getting all of your items turned in that need to be turned in for data collection, and they are going to be your go-to people at the school. While Read and Feed and Wake Ed Partnership and WCPS will be able to provide additional layers of support. And you are going to be required to do a couple of things to make sure that this Literacy Level Up Literacy Initiative is successful. Of course, you're attending all trainings and meetings. There'll be some record keeping that you'll be doing. You'll be utilizing those materials. And of course, you'll be communicating with Wake Ed, Read and Feed, and WCPSS as needed. So I'm excited to turn over the rest of the presentation to Read and Feed, followed by Wake Ed Partnership. Please enjoy.
Hey everybody, my name is Mandy, and I wanted to go over a little bit with you about what is our purpose here at Level Up Literacy. So our focus is on students in grades 1 through 3 who are slightly below grade level in their literacy goals. So as Shanika was just talking about, they are currently taking a mid-year M-Class assessment, and those students who are going to perform in what we call the yellow composite, have a yellow composite, will be qualified to be a part of our Level Up Literacy program. So we target the students' greatest area of need based on that data, and their homeroom teacher is going to help us with that also. And we're really going to focus on one of these 5 reading components: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, or comprehension. Now, this is a one-on-one intervention time with the students. It's a 30-minute session. It's going to be 2 to 3 days a week with you, our trained volunteers. As you are working with these students one-on-one, you'll be gathering data each session, and that's going to help drive your instruction with your student to help see their goals and what they can do each from session to session and from week to week. Hopefully make a lot of growth. So this is a typical session. We start with what we call a literacy activity that is based on that component of reading that is their biggest area of need. That's a way to just kind of introduce a concept or review a concept. It's also a fun way to get the students engaged. That'll be about 10 minutes long. Then we move into something called a progress check. That also correlates to that component of reading that that student is working on. That will only be 2 minutes long. It's a 1-minute progress check, and then we're going to allow you that extra minute to write down on this progress note sheet the data, so it'll be fresh in your mind. You can immediately write that down and record that for our records. Finally, we're going to move into reading a grade level appropriate book. That's that language comprehension focus that's kind of now applying all the things that we've been practicing with the student. That's going to be about 18 to 20 minutes long to wrap up your session. So after your 30-minute session is over, you will complete and finish up the progress note sheet. Each student will have a folder, and this will be for every session. You will have all of your sheets ready to go, and making sure any supplies that you have used will be put back in their place. So I mentioned a few words there, and I just wanted to clarify what some of those mean. When I talk about a literacy activity, that is truly an activity based on that area of greatest need for our student. All of our literacy games will have a label on them with one of the 5 components that matches up just for your ease of choice when you're choosing the game to begin with your student that day. All of the games are really meant for practicing this reading component and really reinforcing it in a fun way. We think it's a nice start to the lesson to really get the students interested in whatever they're working on with regards to their reading. Then the progress check. So what that means, it's not a test. It is just truly just like what it sounds like. It is a check of their progress. It's only 1 minute long, and they will monitor how these literacy goals are progressing. Again, growth is really big for us. We love to see growth in our students and really make sure that we're honing in on their biggest area of need. So there is a different progress check for each of those 5 reading components, and you will be trained on how to do these progress checks. Then the reading a book part for that language comprehension. It's kind of now applying all the things that you've learned. Now what? Of course, our goal for any student is to have them to understand what they've read. So your tutor, as a tutor, you'll be choosing a book that's based on their grade level. And these are high interest books. It's going to be a mixture of fiction and nonfiction. We're really choosing books that we think the kids are really going to be excited to read and looking forward to learning about. It's going to be authors, themes, topics that they're familiar with. So this is a way, again, to apply those skills that they've practiced. Now, when I've also mentioned this progress note sheet, like I said, every student will have a folder, and these progress note sheets are a way for us to keep our data. So you will check off which literacy activity you've completed, the progress check, and the data, and then you will write down the title of the book that you've read with the student in the session. So it's really a nice way for you to refer back from session to session and keep a good track of the data, because at the end of our year, we like to see all of that good growth that we know we're going to see. So what we want to do is definitely support you. There will be areas of support that we will provide. You will first have a 2-hour in-person training prior to your first session. So we will go over every bit of what our program looks like with regards to the progress checks, the progress notes, the types of books we will use, and just what your expectations are as a tutor. We do have trained support staff from Read and Feed as well as Wake County Public Schools who will actually go to your sites, go to the schools for additional support as well. We definitely want you to know that you will have a person there to help you with these programming questions, any concerns about a student you might have, or any questions about the materials that you have. There is a tutor resource website also that we have for you as a volunteer to utilize at your own time. The website has videos of how to do those progress checks. It kind of goes over the 5 components of reading. So it's a nice way for you to harken back on, now, what were they talking about with regard to the 5 components? Let me go to this website and have that resource. Just as a reminder, you are so valuable to us. You are not replacing the classroom teacher. You are simply providing that extra literacy support for these students who are slightly below where they need to be at this time, and we really want to push them to the best possible reader they can be. All right, I'll move it over to Wake Ed. Thank you.
Keith, you are on mute.
Thank you very much. Thank you all again. Thank you, Mandy, for your presentation on Read and Feed. We'll tell you a little bit about what Wake Ed Partnership is going to be doing with Level Up Literacy, and then hand it over to Doug to talk about how the next steps for you as a potential volunteer. Since we've been working with the program for a couple of years, our first focus is to retain our existing literacy volunteers. So if you're one of those who are in this session or listening, we want you to stay. We want you back. We're also going to be identifying and recruiting new volunteers, new community-based organizations, and businesses to support Level Up Literacy. This is a volunteer-driven effort, and the more volunteers we have, the more students we can reach. Wake Ed will also plan, schedule, and host virtual info sessions like this for potential volunteers. We'll also support training sessions with Read and Feed as needed. And then finally, we'll work directly with the participating schools on their schedules and placement of volunteers. Doug, you want to tell them what the step-by-step is and how they actually get ready to go? Oh, you need to, now you're on mute again.
Thank you. So once you are ready to take those next steps, the step 1 is going to be that we invite you to attend and view one of these information sessions regarding Level Up Literacy. And you can find that located at the wakeed.org web link that is posted there. There will also be some other places later on online or on the interweb that you will be able to also locate that at a later point. And then step 2, all volunteers are required to complete the Wake County public school system background check process. So we will invite you to please make sure that you have done that. If you are a returning volunteer who started with us in the fall, you already completed this when this was previously the HELPS one-on-one tutoring program, and you are good to go for the remainder of this year, as those background checks are good for the full school calendar year. But if you are new to the program, you were not with us in the fall, you will need to let that be one of the first 2 steps that you take in this process. And then after that, you will go to the, you will participate with the Level Up Literacy training sessions. Those are required for every volunteer, including those who were previously with us with the HELPS one-on-one tutoring that happened in the fall or in previous years. You will need to be retrained in the new programmatic details of what Level Up Literacy is providing for our students. And then once trained, you'll choose those school preferences with the school sites and times, and then Wake Ed will work with you to make sure that you are placed appropriately.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to Read and Feed and to Wake Ed Partnership. We're now going to pause and allow for any live questions that we may have. Thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to you signing up soon. Have a great day.